what is my honest truth, my honest opinion about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Welcome back, my friend. I hope you're having a great, beautiful, blessed day as usual. Let's get straight into it. Now, somebody asked me, when was the last time that I rode, and what is my honest opinion about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? The last time I had a good grapple session in was maybe about a year ago. It's been a hot minute. Now, my honest opinion, okay, about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. You don't need a pen and a paper because this one is extremely simple. You got to think about it, okay? Two guys, especially no gi, two guys touching each other, rolling around on the ground, sweaty, like trying to pin each other down. Come on, my guys. This is why I be always just shadow boxing, moving and grooving. No, 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 no. Now, when it comes to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, right? Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, wrestling, grappling, takedowns, pinning an opponent, submissions, arm locks, ankle locks, all these other locks, grappling in general, okay? It's the secret weapon. Now, a lot of times, on the streets, I do get anxious sometimes, if I'm in a situation and I feel like something's going to happen. Of course, it's a normal thing for me, okay? For me to be anxious, and I know when I'm anxious, I have anxiety. I know that my reflexes are sharpened. My body's getting ready to kind of like fight or flight, but I'm kind of in the mode of, I got to start smoothing everything out, being much more sharp with what I'm about to do, what I'm about to say, the kind of body language I have. But, you know, aside the anxiousness, I don't have any fear of anyone on the street because of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Bro, it's a secret weapon. Now, mind you, of course, for those who've been around for a while on this channel, know that I boxed as a kid. On the streets, my boxing was good. It helped me in a lot of situations. My hands were fast. I was sharp. I could kind of understand my way around a fight with just my hands. If somebody were to kind of duck their head low enough, in elementary, I would like soccer kick balls like really hard. So, I mean, the soccer kick was there. I didn't have the technique, the sharpness, the ability to land the front kicks yet until I got into mixed martial arts. But my boxing was good as a kid. I boxed as a kid, sparred on the street, whatever on the streets. I'm not going to glorify that, but the boxing was sharp. Now, when I got into mixed martial arts, okay, my first day, I remember we were sparring. We did like a bunch of drills, bunch of warm ups. Then we got to the sparring part. There was maybe about like 30 guys that day at the gym. So we all sparred. Like you spar everybody. And at the gym I went to, Bulls Pen, mixed martial arts, Bulls Pen MMA, shouts out to them. There's no such thing as you stay with your weight class. No, you spar everybody. It doesn't matter. You could be 125 or you could be 245. You sparring everybody. So you know, the first round, the first couple rounds were boxing sparring. So you got to think when I say first couple rounds, like you're having one round with each person, 3 minute round, dude. That's like long in itself. We would train for like almost 3 4 hours, man. But the first round, straight boxing. Of course, I boxed all of them. I held my own against all of them. The ones that did give me trouble, they hit extremely hard. They were hitting extremely hard, and I had a hard time because they had a different style of boxing. Mind you, they're mixed martial artists. My teammates, some of my teammates, they would be like, they were sharp, they were fast, they hit me hard, but they had a different style. Now, after about 2 rounds, you go around with everybody. Um, we did mixed martial arts. Okay. So boxing, kickboxing, grappling, jiu-jitsu, like the whole 9 yards. This is where I got my ass handed to me. I got my ass handed to me. Now, my entire life, I basically thrived off of pure boxing. In my head, I knew with my hands, like you couldn't touch me until I got into mixed martial arts. I forget what year this was. This was maybe around like 2009, 2010, but it really opened the door. You got to think about it like I was a reborn Christian, man. Like, oh man, once I got my ass handed to me, I realized I didn't know anything about fighting or martial arts in general. If you consider yourself a martial artist and you have no knowledge or experience or hours on the mat, either in wrestling, in judo, in jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, collar and butt. If you don't know anything of grappling and you consider yourself a martial artist, dude, you're in a for a rude awakening, man. And I realized, because I was so shell shocked. Like I thought I really was bad with my hands. 'Cause, I boxed a lot of guys, and like on the in areas like this at a park, like you, you're gonna face almost everyone. Like there was times I had to fight really big guys, and just because my hands were so good, like I could thrive in that situation. But dude, when a guy knows Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, he understands wrestling, he understands how to maneuver, he understands how to control a fight. If two individuals fall to the ground, fuck, you're dust, bro. I don't care who you think you are. I don't care what belt you are in karate, what belt you are in kung fu, bro. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is a secret weapon, and if you don't know it, if you've never trained it, it's game over for you. Now, some people will say, some influence out influencers out there will say, "Oh, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu doesn't work in a street fight." Understand? I'm not 6'4", 220 pounds. Like I'm 5'7" at the most. Like me at this size, this is like me working to put on weight. I'm like 180 right now. It takes work. So I'm a smaller guy. And when it comes to fighting, everyone will have their own blend of what works. Okay, I'm not gonna say Brazilian Jiu Jitsu works, Krav Maga works, or kickboxing works. It all depends on the individual. Now, a lot of my boxing, I did Kempo before I got into mixed martial arts. So Kempo had a blend at that time when I was learning it. It had a blend of like self defense type of arm arm locks, leg locks, whatever. But it was more to subdue an individual. It wasn't like a continuous like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It's like you grab the arm, you chop, or you kind of hit your flows with your hands, lock, poop, 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 elbow, bang, 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 done. It wasn't a continuous like we're gonna be on the ground rolling around for like 20 minutes straight. No. So I had some understanding of locking just to subdue, eye poke, palm strikes, whatever. Wizard the arm, poop. Wizard this arm, poop. Hands in, ping, ping. Grab, grab. Um, what is that called? Like tie clinching. All of that, dude. If you don't understand, even like tie clinching, if you don't understand tie clinching as a boxer, and someone catches you in that on the streets, bro, you're done. You're fucking done, man. Now, understand that, like I said, everyone will have their own way to fight. There's not just one way. If you're competing in a sport, of course, you're going to be cut off from this knowledge. But if you consider yourself a fighter, and even if you want to call yourself a self defense expert, dude, I suggest, okay, that you don't learn self defense from a self defense guy. You gotta just go to the best of the best. If you want good hands for self defense, you go to a boxing gym. If you want good self defense with grappling and like clinching, go to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. If you want good leg legs and knees and elbows for self defense, you go to a Muay Thai gym. Like you gotta go to the best of the best. Understand? And this is just the thing, dude. Not everybody on the streets has a high level of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and this is why this is like my my ace in the hole, man. This is my ace in the pocket. Like when I see the ears, yeah, then my antenna spring up. But it's like because my boxing is so good, it's like okay, if I see your ears are damaged, depending how damaged your ears are, depending I see your knuckles, this and that, I know you spend a lot of time doing grappling, so I can get away with my hands. But if you were to take me down, I'll be all right. If I see some guys just start bouncing, they have a good boxer stance, and their ears kind of don't look like anything. Ah, I'll just take you down. I ain't gonna stand up with you. That's what mixed martial arts is. That's how I learned it. Always do the opposite. When the guy is striking, boxing, you take him down. When the guy's trying to take you down, you box him. When the guy does take you down, you try to stand up. When he's trying to stand up and you try to take him down, box him. You always do the opposite of what your opponent is doing. Yin and yang. I learned this one from observing John Jones. He would really like tag guys out, throw the jab, bait them in with the boxing. Then right when they would try to box it in back, he would just take them down. It would be easy. His takedown rate was like damn near perfect. 95% of the time, he was taking guys down, no matter what, because he was always doing the opposite. He had knowledge. He was smart. He wasn't stupid. And for you to think that you can just train karate all your life and just be like, have this self defense, you meet somebody who has like a high level Brazilian jiu jitsu or wrestling or grappling, dude, you're done, man. You're done. Now, like I said, to each his own. I'm 5'7", at most right now like 180 pounds. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu helped me to understand power. Boxing did, but Brazilian Jiu Jitsu helped me to understand it even better. When you're going against a bigger opponent and you see he has long arms, kind of muscular, you're afraid of his strikes, you either stand outside of his power or you come in really close and you shut it down at the source. When you do that and you have a good firm grasp of wrestling, grappling, and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, you have a better um, chance of really redirecting the attack. You got to think of it as a bull, okay? If you and a bull are like face to face and you're like doing your best to maneuver him, like me, my footwork, I maneuver him out, I maneuver him out. There's a big chance that he might catch on to my movements and then just, okay? Now, what Brazilian Jiu Jitsu did for me is that instead of moving around, I can jump on the bull. So my chances of getting attacked are almost cut in half when I jump on the bull. When I jump on the bull's back, whether it's like facing him or on his back, I mean, I'm already on him. What is he going to do? Grind his head into the ground? Now, when I'm on top of it, because of my understanding, my skills, and my time with grappling, I can now direct the bull to where he needs to go. So, like I said, at our gym, the reason why I kind of have no fear, especially with big guys, because like a lot of guys would come to our gym at the time when I was fighting. My gym was known, so a lot of guys would come in, and in Hawaii, even like the bodybuilders, a lot of big guys are like uncles. Um, these bigger guys who lift a lot of weights, they don't really fight too much, but they're tough too. Everybody in Hawaii is tough. I hate to say, but big bodybuilder guys would come to our gym. Some of my teammates would bring their friends, and they're all like big and buff with the fat chains, whatever. And of course, I would get anxious at the time, dude. I was like 150. These guys would be coming in buff, buff, and we spar, we roll. They do the training with us. Then when it's my time to spar with them, mixed martial arts, grappling, whatever. I mean, they're like it was so easy. It's easy when a guy, especially when he's strong. Like you see it on YouTube, dude. Big guys just get fucking tossed around. If you do not know about weight transfer, sensitivity with the body, the ability to sweep someone, the ability to where if he puts all his weight on one hand while I'm on my back, I can hold this arm, lock it, and move. Dude, you are like dead. And even that one guy, he was on a podcast. He's a Bobby Green, I think. He made it extremely clear. If you do not know Brazilian Jiu Jitsu or some kind of wrestling or grappling, guys could seriously take your manhood. Seriously. When I first got into mixed martial arts, I was like, dude, if these guys wanted to, some of these guys, their jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu is so good. Like, I wouldn't be able to squirm away. If they were sick bastards like that, yeah, they could easily take it. And now because I know what I know, it's like some guys like they think, oh, I bench this, I'm big and buff. You don't know, oh my gosh. And I've purposely done it to where like I've grappled a lot and I've like had interactions a lot with guys who are just big weightlifters that think that when I see red, oh, you don't even know. I was one of those guys. I said the story. Like I was lifting weights. I touched 315, 405 on a back squat, deadlift. When my friend asked me to grapple, at the time he was like 155. I told him, bro. And I thought like, once I get mad, like when I'm hitting the weights, it's over for him. Nope. Nope. I was wrong. I was wrong. So Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, if you're my size, okay, it doesn't work for everyone, but if you're a good boxer and you add in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, wrestling, grappling, dude, I've seen guys, okay, I've trained my friends who had really good hands. Once I teach them Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, basic grappling, some judo stuff, their boxing becomes better. Why? Because they're not afraid of falling down to the ground. It's not speculation. Oh, if this is why Brazilian Jiu Jitsu to me surpassed everything really quick. when they demonstrate something, in class, kid, this is the technique. You go here, you go here, you go here. When they try it out on their partner, even if they're going lightly or 50%, grappling is grappling. Even if you're like lightly simulating a situation, when you do it in real life, it's so close. It's so similar to the drilling and the actual situation. Not like some traditional martial arts where, like, okay, I wrap the arm, I chop here, then I poke the eye here. When you're in practice, you have no idea how strong that chop is unless you gave it 100%. You have no idea how strong that claw to the eyes is unless you do it 100%. Believe me, I had guys try to claw my face, and it's like, dude, that doesn't work. No matter how much you may have hit trees with your claw, dude, when you try to hurt an individual, you got to understand that the individual, the opponent, has adrenaline, has this thing that'll kick on, that'll make them stronger, impervious to pain. When you try to chop someone in the neck, I don't care how much bricks you can break, dude. You guys chop me in the neck, I don't even feel it because like everything is just being rushed. Yeah, maybe after, but believe me, some guys, it's a rude. I've seen that as well. I've seen a lot of traditional guys come in, guys who are like highly ranked traditional martial artists in their respective craft, come into mixed martial arts and get manhandled. Like, and it's a big, big killer of someone's ego. And I've seen guys get really, really question their lives based upon how much they get their ass whooped on Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. This is why a lot of cops in Hawaii, they do a lot of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I got to roll with a lot of undercover cops, and dude, their Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is a little different because they gotta, they're subduing criminals. Criminals in Hawaii is all everybody in Hawaii is very physical, very tough. So if you're gonna be an undercover cop, when you're an undercover cop in Hawaii, you're taking down some of the baddest guys on the island, man. And like I said, the Polynesians here, they can bang. So, if you're like a 5'8" undercover cop, you gotta have good grappling, good Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, good striking. You gotta have a good blend of it because everybody throws down over here. Um, but like I said, this is why cops, especially undercover cops, I got to train with a lot of them. I do have like an affiliate with this Brazilian Jiu Jitsu school. I'm not gonna say their name. I'm not too sure. I know the professor there. Okay, so when I had my gym, I had my little strength and conditioning gym. I had a bunch of guys that came to me from this Brazilian Jiu Jitsu school. They wanted me to do their strength and conditioning. All of them were blue belts, and one was purple. The rest were blue. Now they're all black belts, hammers. Now the thing is, in Hawaii, I'm not sure how it is in the mainland, but there's a lot of politics. My friend, I'm not gonna say where he was from. The friend that destroyed me back when I thought I was buff and I could kick ass. Um, he was a blue belt. Okay, he would say, "Oh yeah, I'm da da da. I'm a blue belt with this school." When he would say he's a blue belt for this school, guys who knew that school, they would be on their toes. Politics and the way things are down here in Hawaii, everybody is trying to protect the rep. And when he said he was a blue belt, now the ranking is blue, white, blue, purple, brown, black. Blue is just right above white. But when he said, "Oh, I'm a blue belt with this school," like technically, his skill level, he would be like a purple or brown, and that is crazy high. So the guys that came to me, they were blue and purple. They were high level guys, man. Now understand, for those that know Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, for me, from what I've seen, what I've observed, when you're a blue belt, that's like the hardest time. Blue and purple is like you're gonna be a blue and purple belt for an extremely long time. That's where a lot of guys kind of dip out. That's where a lot of guys quit. But there's a lot of hammer guys at blue and purple. It takes a long time to get to purple, really, really long. But from what I've seen, what I've observed from like being within the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu community, this and that, once you hit your purple, brown and black is like it just tuk tuk, but always trying to get to that purple belt. Some guys do have a stretch from purple to brown, but it's not as long as from blue to purple. Blue to purple is that there's a lot of sharks there, man. Some guys, they call it sandbagging and competition, where I technically would be a white belt, but they go compete at blue belt, but they're technically supposed to be like brown belts. There's a lot of sandbagging, but at the same time, these schools are trying to protect their reputation, and all to them. So my honest opinion about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, bro, it's my secret weapon, man, and it's something I don't really show because I learned a different style. And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now and grappling has really evolved. And the way I do my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, of course, is no gi because of mixed martial arts. And you gotta study. If you're a martial artist, dude, you gotta understand these things. You gotta study these things. Um, there's Abraham Lincoln. He was an extremely good wrestler. If you guys don't know that, the president, Abraham Lincoln, the dude on the penny, he was a badass wrestler. There's so much techniques, catches, catch can, collar and elbow. Um, I have a blend of catches, catch can with Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. My wrestling takedowns is actually still horrible. Because I was always getting taken down, I really had to learn how to work from my back. So from my back, I got to understand just hooking, weight transfer. A lot of times, if the guy is like full mounted me and he's pounding me out, it's much easier for me to subdue my opponent when he's in that much control. Cause I had a lot of guys that just took me down, mount me, pound me out. So I had to work from my weaknesses, and I got to work a lot from my back. I incorporated a lot of the catch can from my back. So when you're like full mounted on me, you think you have the upper hand against me, but you don't. And because of my experiences, dude, like just rolling on the concrete, I mean, getting into situations, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, grappling works for me everywhere, everywhere. If my hands are like a good level, my hands are a good level, my hands and my kicks are like at a good level. But if that fails, I have no problem with going to the ground. And this is why I feel Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It's one of those secret things that if you do not know it, bro, you are a victim. Victim. That's all it is. Now, to end it, okay? Understand that in nature, everything that's a predatory animal is a grappler. When a lion sinks his teeth into a gazelle's butt, that's grappling. Okay, you're using some type of hook. Okay, when you hook. The lion uses his teeth. That's a grapple. Then he uses his jaw muscles to bring it down. Then he'll sink in his claws. Grapple hook. Same thing. It's like a claw that you hook onto the edge of the wall. Lions are grapplers. Snakes are grapplers. Alligators, when an alligator sinks his teeth in, locks his jaws, that's a way of holding, locking you down, and then he'll do the alligator roll. That's wrestling. That's all wrestling. All predatory animals, sharks, are grapplers, wrestlers. Feminine is striking. I don't want you to think about masculine as a man, feminine as a woman. No, there's force, and feminine is like receptive, more flowing. Okay, you got to understand these things as a martial artist. If you do not know these things, I gave you a new avenue to explore. If you are a really high level striker, I suggest you understand some grappling. So that way, if you do fall to the ground, you have the confidence. You have the confidence. And that way, because you have the confidence, you don't have speculations. You know that if the fight goes to the ground, you'll be able to handle yourself. And because you have that knowing, that experience, you can let your hands fly even more. That's just all I can say. My honest opinion about Brazilian jiu-jitsu, grappling, wrestling. That's why I have no fear of no man. Like I've rode against a lot of big bodybuilder guys. I see red, bro. Ah, Ches, you so smart. Fucking fuck these motherfuckers up, bro. Twist you up like a pretzel, choke you out, all those muscles. You're gonna be like, damn. I've converted so much people into my type of training because of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I roll with them, I spar with them, I take them down, and they're just like, I thought I was strong. I thought I was bad. No, you're not. No, you're not. Understand the reason why Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is so it's getting its push and it's made its way into mixed martial arts is because of what it is. It's a subduer of all styles. And you got to be able to know it. I'll probably make more videos on this because my depth of understanding when it comes to grappling is kind of deep. And I would like to share it with you. So that way you have confidence in being yourself. You can protect your family, protect yours, And that's what it is, man. And until next time, just always remember, train hard and be kind. Let's go.